If you've been following my blogs at dolmanlaw.com, you're familiar with the dirty tactics utilized by Florida debt collectors. One tactic to keep in mind is re-aging an old account. What this essentially means is if you have an account and it's overdue, you're in arrears, and it's past the statute of limitation date or closely approaching the statute of limitation date in Florida, the debt collector or a new bottom-feeding debt collection agency that steps in will try to send you correspondence saying that you owe this debt. They'll threaten legal action and hope that you respond and make a payment. This is called re-aging an account. These are accounts that either expired or about to expire, and they will have no legal right or recourse against you, not just the debt collector, but the original debtor. Therefore, keep in mind, you need to contact a Florida attorney that handles consumer collection cases, and most importantly, Florida's Consumer Collection Practices Act. This is a statute that is analogous to the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, but this is Florida's version of a federal statute. This enables you to seek legal recourse against debt collectors that have abused Florida law. And we see this all the time. Debt collectors that will call you so often it amounts to a campaign of harassment, calling you in expired debts, threatening legal action when they're not a law firm, or don't have the ability to follow through on their threat. That's a violation. If they know that you're represented by legal counsel, say in a personal injury case and a hospital is calling you, or a bottom-feeding debt collection agency is calling you that bought the account from the hospital, they're liable. Maybe the hospital, maybe the debt collection agency, maybe both when they point fingers at each other in a lawsuit. But you need to get advice from a competent Florida attorney that handles consumer cases. We're a personal injury law firm, but we also handle debt collection cases. The majority of them are related to our personal injury claims and are when hospitals or medical providers violate Florida statute. However, I'm happy to look at your debt collection case. Myself and Jacob Pillsbury, we handle debt collection cases throughout the state of Florida. Again, if your rights have been abused by a debt collection agency, if you feel you've been harassed, if the calls won't stop, if you've asked them to stop calling, they're calling you on the nights and weekends, after hours, if they're sending you letters and correspondence threatening legal action, if you told them to stop and they continue to call, if they threaten legal action, they're not capable of doing anything about it, they're not a law firm, if they're giving you legal advice on the phone and they're not a lawyer, contact a Florida attorney. At Dolman Law Group, we're here to help. We're consumer justice attorneys. For more information, check out my blog at www.dolmanlaw.com. DOLMANLAW.com. Experience a Dolman Law difference.